you didn't play football growing up, not even until you went to. Did you watch football? Were you a fan? Some people are casual fans, some people are deep fans, and like. Were you not hardly watch it? Where was your level of interest in football growing up in Minnesota as this, prodigy wrestler?
I didn't have much interest in football until I would say I always liked the Vikings, and I'm from Indiana. So when I lived in Indiana, it was a Chicago Bears team, and they had guys like Devin Hester and Brian Urlacher and Jay Cutler. But I mean, I don't think they're a really great team. So I wasn't really acclimated with football until I came to Minnesota and kind of learned about the Vikings and really started watching when Justin Jefferson started playing on the Minnesota Vikings. And I think that's when a lot of new Vikings fans got tuned in. So personally, I'm not a lifelong Viking fan, but that is my team, and so is the Buffalo Bills. So I mean, that's just how I started.
Yeah, and I don't watch much football, but it comes on TV and I'll watch it. But I'm not really in tune with. I know how it works, but I don't know what to look for. Right? I don't like. I
Yes.
don't know the X's and O's and what a zone. I don't nickel defense. I don't know these things. Did you like? Where was your
No,
level of knowledge of the sport itself?
nowhere near anything.
Yeah.
When I showed up to Buffalo, I did a Buffalo tryout on May like 29th, and my birthday was May 31st. I signed on May 31st, and I stayed there for a week and a half at OTAs. And when I tell you, I didn't even know how to get into a 3 point stance. I didn't know shade in the center to being in a three tech, to being in a two eye, to being in a five. Like, and I don't play the five. That's more of like at the time that's Von Miller and Greg Russo's position, and AJ Epinesa. So I'm sitting there in the one and three, just looking at a guy, and I'm reading his key because we're supposed to read the keys as the shoulder and which way he turns, and if he pulls, you got to follow the either the tackle or the guard coming the opposite way. I had no clue. They spent a lot of time with me those first few weeks, like showing me the playbook, to showing me how to line up, to showing me like putting the hand to the toe, and if someone goes this way, react this way. So it was really hard at first.
It sounds like you're like in wrestling terms learning a drop step. Like a guy that doesn't know how to do a
Yes.
penetration step, but he's going to wrestle at an Olympic level. Is that fair?
It literally, I'm learning how to take a penetration step before even taking a shot, and it's exactly that.
Yeah. Um, what so I'm sure you're learning a lot of things with coaches, and I know I said you had a playbook this big. Maybe explain what it's like to learn the plays and understand. You're looking at basically a map on a piece of paper with X's and O's. But then when you get out to practice or a game, you're like a first person game, and you have to look at everything this way. Describe like being on the field and trying to figure out what's going on versus reading a playbook and talking things over with a coach.
The reading the playbook was the hardest part, and talking things over was definitely the hardest part because and when I wrestle and I look at guys that I'm going to wrestle, I never really watched any film on anybody, and so the first time I actually watched film on somebody besides maybe the Olympics and a couple other guys was when I went to Buffalo, and that's like how I learned how to dissect a football game and learn like how to do the things that we need to do. And also the hard part was there's 11 guys on the field and you have one job. In wrestling, it's one on one, and you have every single job to do, which is not get taken down, take a guy down, escape from bottom, right on top, and try to win a match. So a lot of times you would see like as a D tackle, I would get off the ball and hit their center, and I would set an edge, and then the ball will go the other way, and I'm like, damn, like, am I supposed to get that? And I run to the sideline, and they're telling me like, no, you did your job. And so it was a whole new thing of like, I just don't know, am I doing the right thing or am I doing the wrong thing? And a lot of times it was right, and a lot of times it was wrong. It was just the learning process of it.
Yeah, not that you say that, it's like the play's still going, but you're done, and that probably feels wrong because wrestling, you're not done until it's over.
No, it's super wrong. It just felt like I was just like not doing anything correct. And that was a lot of the head game that I had was like just getting off the ball. Everything was cool. Like hand fighting was the same as wrestling. And I would get off and just look around and be like, the ball is nowhere near me. Did I mess up? And so I feel like I'm just in the wrong every single time. But as time went on and camp went on, it was definitely like once you do something and like your time is up, you got to sprint to the ball, and if a fumble happens and you can make that play. But a lot of times it was some plays are made for the linebacker to get it. Some plays are made for the nickel to get it, or the corner to set that edge and get it. So you never know.
How long was it until you, if ever, till you felt comfortable on the field? Because like I don't did I do right? Did I do wrong? Am I supposed to chase him? What do I do? Did you ever feel comfortable, or if so, when? How long till that kind of happened?
I think I started feeling comfortable when I hit week. I don't know how long training camp is. Maybe it's 8 weeks. I think when I hit maybe right after our first game against the Chicago Bears when I was in Buffalo is when I hit a comfortable spot with football. I think just playing that first game and getting the jitters out of everything was definitely helped. And I just going through the process every day. Obviously, like if you're paying attention and you really want to be there and you're working to be something at football, you're gonna catch up one time. And so I really felt myself learning the plays and learning where to line up and the terminology of the words. And when someone did a certain hand signal, I started figuring out where to go and what to do. And it became really fun at that point, and I really enjoyed it, and I loved every second of it.